Hi, Danielle. We wanted to make you aware of damage that occurred to the teacher appreciation sign at Rondo School on May 8th, 23. Our rental agreement explicitly states to refrain from mowing near the signs, and in this case, a weed whacker ripped right through some of them. The damage to some of the pieces have rendered them useless for future signs, and they will need to be replaced. Thank you for understanding, Chelsea and Melissa.
Hi, Chelsea and Melissa. First, I want to sincerely apologize for the damage caused to your signs. I feel horrible about it, because you see, it was I who damaged them. I'm so embarrassed. Things were going perfectly after the signs were installed. I felt a great deal of comfort in knowing that the teachers of Rondo Elementary would feel appreciated by your beautiful signage when they arrived the following morning. I was relaxed, and in that relaxation came some free time. I was able to pursue my passion, which is the extreme genetic engineering of horticultural crops using the school's science room. I've been working on increasing the yield of common beet crops, and I'm about a week away from engineering a potato that tastes and looks exactly like a pineapple. Anyway, as I say, I was working in the lab late that night, and as I was writing down the results of the latest round of clinical trials of butterflies I'd engineered to have regenerative wings made of arugula, when one of my half-radish, half-trout hybrids jumped out of its tank and knocked a full beaker of growth serum out the window. The beaker smashed on the lawn, and before I had time to go clean it up, every one of my Harrigolds, half marigold and half Harry Styles, started crying acid tears and spitting all over my crisp pine trees. Half pine tree and half crisp pine, which is itself half pine tree and half crisp pine, the actor. By the time I'd calmed them all down, I was exhausted and heavily burned by the acid tears, so I went to find some bandages and ointments. From the window of the nurse's office, I saw it. The grass had grown to well over 9 feet tall and had taken on the mannerisms of a 1990s Joe Pesci character. I ran outside and tried to reason with the roiling mass of razor-sharp, gigantic grass blades and high-pitched, rapid-fire curse words. I explained that the children would be arriving in a few hours, and they won't find this funny. The tangled expanse of Pesci grass asked indignantly if I found it funny like a clown, and then rambled on about utes and pause attraction for 20 minutes before swiping at me with a sharpened dandelion, which cut deeply into my shoulder. I retreated back inside, battered, exhausted, and bleeding. I leaned against the custodian's closet door and wept. What have I done? I wailed at the photo of Frank Stallone we hung on the wall last year for some reason. I pounded my fist on the door in rage and it gave way, causing me to tumble forward into the darkened closet. I felt utterly defeated until I pulled the light cord and saw it. My salvation. It was a mirror, Chelsea and Melissa. I was my salvation all along. Also, I saw several machetes and a 4-gallon backpack herbicide spray. One John Rambo / Ellen Ripley from Alien style equipping montage later, and I was ready. I kicked open the doors, lit the ends of my machetes on fire, and bellowed into the night like Dutch summoning, the Predator. It didn't take long before the Pesci grass rustled towards me, shouting about that dang Ratz and McAllister kid. I launched my body forward and delivered powerful, arching overhand blows with my flaming machetes at what I determined to be the brain of the beast. For hours we fought, 2 evenly matched warriors smashing shields in the dark, until it appeared the grass had the killing blow in its sights. I was wrapped and knotted in its green tendrils and couldn't even lift my sprayer. But, as luck would have it, I had secretly strapped 2 high-powered weed whackers to my shin bones during the montage earlier. I fired them up and performed a Van Damme-style 360-degree spinning kick that finally dispatched the monster once and for all. The dawn had broken and I dropped to my knees, exhausted but victorious. It was then, Chelsea and Melissa, that I noticed to my horror that my super sweet 360-degree kick had accidentally clipped some of your signs. I raised my head and shook my fists at the skies and once again bellowed at the top of my lungs, but this time with a mournful tone. That is how the children found me when the buses rolled in, screaming at the sky, covered in blood and grass clippings, cradling your signs in my arms. They put a blanket on my shoulders and carried me inside, where I fell into a deep sleep, until just today when I received your letter. Once again, my most profound apologies for the sign damage. I will be far more careful in the future, I promise. Sincerely yours, Danielle.